Item number 2 on the agenda would be the minutes for the February 25 meeting.
Excuse me, Chairman, don't we have to sit for the Stanko?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. So Ivy, would you sit for Mr. Stankoff, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Tally. Item number 2, the minutes for the 25 February meeting.
Move to accept the minutes of February 25th, 2021.
Thank you. And is there a second?
I
Second.
second that, Geneva.
Thank you. Any comments or discussion? Corrections? All those in favor of accepting the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Julie abstains. Thank you. Any other abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Item number 3, application review, C16-1, Town of Waterford general permit, proposed drainage pipe replacement, Gallows Lane. Maureen?
Is bringing up the information you should have in front of you that was on the agenda posted. This is a request from the Department of Public Works for drainage pipe cross culvert replacement on Gallows Lane as part of a reclaiming project for the roadway. Can you go down? I don't know if you've all had time to read the letter, otherwise we'll go through it one by one. Hang on. Just a random door. As you know, the Public Works Department has a standing general permit for maintenance and repair of culverts, bridges, and roadway. And this has been presented to be accepted under that general permit. Katrina will just go down quick. We'll go through. As you all know, Gallows Lane has a dip in it. Water comes across the road during the high water session. The map you see in front of you, these were the original 3 pipes. Estimates are that the pipes were compromised when the sewer was put in. Okay, go to the next one. You can see how the sewer went underneath. And the Public Works Department would like to put 1 pipe, maybe 2, back in that location to take care of the water that runs over the road. Keep going down so you can see. I'll just give you a map to show you where it's general. Oh, whoops, sorry. General location is. I have a mouse trouble. There you go. Good with that one. Everyone sees where that dip is, and I went out today just to take some photographs so you can see. So that's the wetland off the side of the barrier down on the right, and then keep going. View of the dip in the road, and on the left-hand side, there's the wetland. These wetlands are both part of the Connecticut College Arboretum lands. We met with representatives to make sure they're okay with it. And I don't know what else to tell you right now, but I do believe that it fits underneath the recommendations and the conditions for C16-1. The markings there, Atlantic Broadband was there today doing a call before you did. So if the commission concurs that this falls under the general permit for culvert replacement and maintenance, it would require a motion by the commission to find that this work as proposed is covered. Whose feedback is that?
Wait, I think that might be Wade having. I have to mute Wade.
Mr. Chair, I move that that this project be considered under permit C16-1.
Okay, motion is made. Is there a second?
I second it. Jessica Patterson.
Thank you, Jessica.
So Dave's
Any comments, questions, or further discussion?
Dave's not seated right now. Just as a point of order, Mr. Chairman, Dave's not seated right now.
I guess, Maureen, do we have to?
I'll second it. I'll move the motion.
I think
Point
you have,
point of order that someone has been seated to Mr. Lurch. So, Maureen, what do we do? We've never been faced with this before. Do we unseat one of the alternates?
somebody, everybody should, right now, we're getting such feedback, it's impossible to hear. Everyone can mute themselves? Okay,
Tally, can you move?
okay, we're good. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. Just a point of order, the motion was made by someone who hasn't been seated yet because Dave was a little late and we sat.
So I guess my question is, I've never been faced with that situation before. What's your recommendation? How do we proceed?
Well,
I withdraw my motion.
the quickest way would be to have someone else make the motion. And
Okay,
second,
so someone else has to make the motion since
looks like,
So moved, Julie.
okay, and Wade second. Wade waits his hand.
all right, so now we have a duly made motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Julie and Wade.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask a question of staff.
Okay, Mr. Medelis?
Maureen, is this going to be done in conjunction with repaving this road?
Yeah, I believe it was in the letter from, Mr. Matheson that, up here, yeah. How do you make it bigger? I believe they're reclaiming and repaving from where?
Reclaim.
Yeah, the intersection of Bloomingdale to the town line. See right here? So they're gonna be milling, chewing it up, repaving, reclaiming it.
So they'll be doing it at the same time.
Correct, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
We have a vote.
Yes.
Once again, I'll ask for raised hands, all in favor. Any opposed? Mr. Lurch is opposed.
No, I'm not opposed. I was voting in favor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So look, it seems that the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you.
How do I get this?
Number 4, new applications. Maureen, I don't think we have any.
No, we do not.
Item number 5, violations, 54 Rope Ferry Road, unauthorized clearing of vegetation and soil grading within and adjacent to the intermittent water course at Rope Ferry condominiums. Notice of violation dated February 5, 2021.
I had Mr. Chair, I had conversations just this morning with Representative Turner Environmental. I have a copy of my email in front of you all if you want to read it. But they've contracted with this firm to conduct the temporary stabilization, which was required by April 15th, and then to come up with a habitat restoration, wetland restoration plan. And you have the letter in front of you. They're planning on doing the hand raking, grading, and seeding on the weekend of the April 3rd and 4th. So I think this is going forward well, and I'll report to the commission next meeting how it came out.
Okay, any other comments? Maureen, this is just going to proceed under your advisement, correct?
Correct. The corrective actions by the commission was one, by April 15th to get that soil worked in, stabilized and seeded with some matting down so that the spring rains don't wash it all back in. And then they have until, what did we give them? Let me see. I'm trying to work the mouse backwards. I'm not doing very well. Go to the corrective actions. No, next one. Yeah. Open that up. Hang on a second. We're working left-handed and two-handed here. Open that up. Yeah, so April 30th, we should be getting a restoration plan for required corrective action number 2. Forgive me.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments before we move on? Next in the list of violations is 14B Shore Road, unauthorized culvert installation and fill placement within wetlands and water courses. Notice of violation 12 November 2020. Wetland enhancement plan to be submitted by 31 May 2021. Proposed wetland enhancement plan dated 23 March 2021. Questions or comments?
Again, let me just introduce. So the preliminary plan has been submitted. You have it in front of you in your information. If you recall, the additional, I just highlighted where that proposed existing pond was, where the commission accepted that they would do additional enhancement for the corrective action of the unauthorized culvert construction. The plan, if okay, you scroll down, the plan that was submitted by their wetland scientist that has been working on this project right along.
This is the
This is
map.
good. Yeah, yeah. If you have time to read it, we can leave it up. But primarily, he's talking about taking. If you, I'll have Katrina scroll down to his photos of what they're looking to do. And if you haven't had time, we have time to review this. But so this is the existing. If you highlight the freshwater pond right there, the blue, and then the green areas on either side are the areas they tend to remove all the invasives, about 12 inches of soil, put in new soil, seed, and replant. As part of the restoration, if you go down, okay, go down to the next one. They're going to use right here, they're going to use those biologs at the base to make sure nothing falls into the pond. And go down to the next one. I'm just taking you through it. If you've already seen it, I'm sorry. So the core logs are going to be right along the water's edge. They're going to plant them with the herbaceous plugs and then seed uphill, up gradient of that, and intersperse that with shrubs. Keep going. To have a better idea, this is what it looks like now. They want to remove this willow tree in the front. Keep going. And you can see where they're proposing to put the core logs around the outside, and then the green is highlighted as the planting zone for the, it'll be upland, but herbaceous restoration. Keep going. That's what it looks like now. So you can see all the vines, all the bittersweet. That's going to be removed to 12 inches. Keep going. That's the right hand, the east side of it. There's a little broken concrete retaining wall down in here. You'll see it better in the next picture. Zoom in on that if you can. Okay, it's going to zoom in a little bit. So those cedars, you want to come down. One is a fallen here, but this old concrete retaining wall, they want to remove it and grade the slope back 3 to 1 and use that as some more restoration area along the pond. That's what's happening to the wall right now. It's going to fall right in and block the outflow if they don't remove it. And that's the willow looking back north up at the top of the pond. Why they want to take it down? It's compromised and they want to get rid of it. That's the existing culvert that brings the water into the pond.
No, Wade, you get static. We can't hear you when you speak.
And then the yellow line, this is not part of the restoration, but they put it on the plan so the commission's aware of it. They want to continue the stone wall along their property line. So it'll be behind that culvert end wall and continue through there. I asked them to include this in the plan just so the commission knows all the work that's being conducted around this wetland as proposed enhancement. So I'm open to any questions. And I believe, is the engineer here? Norm, are you online here? Is anyone here for Mr. Mortimer?
Yes, I'm here as well. Yep.
Go ahead and feel free to elaborate where I may have left something out, Norm.
Yeah, well, what you see there is where the wall is currently terminated, and just to the right of it are the rocks that they're actually using to construct that wall. It's approximately 5 feet high. It's 27 inches wide at the base, 24 inches wide at the top. And they're terminating it at the driveway, obviously keeping the driveway open, and then picking it up on the other side, and they're going to be going across this culvert. I think one of the concerns was, is this culvert capable of supporting the weight of the wall? So the American Concrete Pipe Institute says that with 1 foot of cover over the top of a concrete pipe, that is capable of supporting an H20 load, which is 20 tons per axle. So a loaded dump truck, for instance, or a loaded oil truck. Based on the dimensions of this wall, we've got somewhere between 1,500 and 1,600 pounds per linear foot. So we are well below that H20 loading. We did some augering where that wall is right now, just to see what the depths of the pipe are, and it's approximately 18 inches deep. What the base of the wall is embedded about 6 inches into grade, but it'll be constructed approximately on grade here, and you can see there's a little bit of a lip, about a 6-inch lip on that head wall, and they're going to fill up to that lip to provide just the cover for the base of that wall. So it's my opinion that the head wall and the cross culverts are well capable of being able to support that wall. I also might note that installation of this wall will not impact the wetlands at all. There's no activity proposed within the wetlands for the construction of the wall. It'll be along the edge.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah. So this is the map that shows where the wall is proposed.
Norm, just one question, I guess more curiosity than technical. What's the purpose of the wall?
It's just it's decorative, really. I mean, it's just the appearance that he wants for the site itself. He's got a rather, quite a house there, and it's just a feature on the property that he thinks will make it look better. I mean, it is a beautiful wall. The people that are building it are doing a really nice job on it.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments from staff or the commission?
Well, no, I think at this time, the commission can either accept the plan right now, if anybody wants to go and look at it a little more detailed. Staff had some preliminary feedback to the plan that, if I go back, hang on, let me master this again. Go back to that one where he highlights in his plan. in order to kind of delineate and define where the boundary of this restoration area is, so it's not mistakenly mowed or anything, because there's a seed mix in there as well. Highlighted one. And Mr. Cole and I have talked about in the field being able to locate, yeah, to locate shrub plantings along the outer edge. Hang on, I'll use the thing all along the outer edge so that there's no mistaken mowing or disturbance to this enhancement area. So my recommendation would be that the final planting plan would be reviewed and approved by the commission staff.
Sorry, Maureen, I didn't get that last comment.
My recommendation, if the commission wants to accept the plan at this time, would be that the condition be that the final planting plan to identify the boundary and the plants within the enhancement area be approved by the commission staff.
We should see that before the final approval.
You can if you want, or you can just let staff handle it. This is not a big area. These are the slopes along the side of the pond. I'll leave it up to the commissioner. Sorry.
Maureen, it's Julie here. I wouldn't mind seeing that, or refresh my memory anyway. It's been, gosh, a couple of months since we were out there for their first, when they first came before the commission. With that wall, I don't know if in very wet seasons, would the water overflow onto the road, and is that wall gonna in any way impact what a natural resolution of that water receding? Is that going to interfere with that?
Are you talking about the stone wall
The stone wall that they're building.
that they're building? No, right now, it's going to be up 18 inches to 2 feet above those existing pipes. As far as I know, there really isn't any history of the water overtopping the driveway and overtopping those pipes, and this wall is going to be probably 18 inches to 2 feet above it. So if everything sort of, flows toward the ocean here, so I don't really see how that could possibly happen, quite honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I can't really see the contours all that well. Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We can't hear you, Wade.
Maureen, this is Ian Cole.
Ian?
I was wondering if I could just address the commission for a second. For the record, Ian Cole, professional wetland scientist, professional soil scientist. This afternoon, I did have some correspondence with Maureen about the addition, as she's saying, basically planting plants, essentially, not just for the added value of the net benefit of the wildlife area, but basically to present basically a physical barrier to say, hey, let's make sure, landscaping crews don't encroach into the area that, we've replanted here. So to that extent, the perimeter of this pond is about 300 feet. As Maureen had suggested, maybe some plantings, I would think if a condition of the approval here could be, we could commit to doing so. If you did say 4 foot tall shrubs planted 6 feet on center, that's approximately, let's say 300, that's approximately 60 shrubs. So we could commit to, depending on spacing, 60 to 80 additional shrubs of native species that are readily available at a nursery to be installed. They're not wetland plants. This is an upland planting. It's basically on the top of the banks. So we could commit to that as an order of condition of approval, and in coordination with town staff and upon Maureen's acceptance of what those species will be. We could certainly add that in here. We can make that commitment tonight.
Any other questions or comments?
Julie again, were there going to be markers identifying this as a wetland boundary? Or in little markers, Maureen?
None are proposed or required at this time.
I guess that it fulfills a similar purpose as the shrubs, the taller shrubs would do to delineate that area. And it is all behind their their private property wall. So I guess, you know, just with the shrubs delineating it for the mowing purposes, that's probably sufficient.
Maureen, you know, based on our conversation this afternoon, I think I'd like to take a look one final time before we dispose of this concern. And Ms. Wainscott has also, I think, expressed similar concerns. So I'd like to move along that path.
And I think that's fine. The corrective action letter gives until the end of May to implement this plan. So if the commission wants to go back and look at it and review it, I think it's entirely within your jurisdiction, you know, before you finalize the plan. But I think it's important to get at least a little feedback. Do you think this is in the right direction?
Let's move along with that. And
no, I just, do you think they're going in the right direction? So I don't want to go out there and then tell them now you want something different. I mean, they're here at the bequest of the homeowner. The homeowner is looking to move into the house. He wants to make sure all his paperwork is in order. So I think this fulfills the recommendations and the requirements of the commission's corrective action letter. But it would probably be good to have a show of hands if everyone's at least on the same page with this, so that they can finalize the plan.
Does everyone agree with that? Show of hands.
Sorry about the feedback, you guys. It must be on our end. Ivy, we can't see you. Are you okay with that? Ivy?
I'm fine.
Dave? Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, there she is. And
I'm
Jeff?
fine with it. Yep.
Okay, thank you. It's going to help them finalize their plan.
Yeah, I think it's a good plan. I do think it's a good idea to put up some kind of a barrier, because I know the people that come out and mow sometimes get a little enthusiastic and go beyond where they should. So they need to know where the line is here. So I would like to see it. I've never seen it.
All right.
Let's plan to move ahead with that. And Maureen, just as an added comment, you know, I think you realize from my past opinions that I like the posted markers, so to speak, rather than relying on the plantings for the boundary. So if that's not a big deal, a major issue, we can discuss that as well.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 6, other business, C14-2, 105 Boston Post Road, 2020 created wetland and detention basin monitoring report. Maureen?
This is just where are we? Okay, that's all right. We're having issues. But anyway, I just want to inform the commission. So we've been getting these reports. This is from 105 Boston Post Road, Victoria Gardens, where they had created wetland as part of their permit to mitigate the wetland impacts that occurred for the cross culvert when they brought the road in. And this is the second yearly report of the 3 years required, submitted by Mr. Richard Snarsky. Why can't I go down? So take your time to read it, but basically the photos, although they're in a different orientation for you, and this is not my computer, the restored wetland and the wetland treatment basin are well vegetated, and in the opinion of the wetland scientists, they're coming in nicely. There's one more year of monitoring. Both these areas are bonded still under the commission's permit through 2021. So this year would be the final year, and then they would probably request the commission to release the bond if they found the mitigation to be satisfactory. So there's no action required. This was a required submission on part of their permit.
Any questions or comments?
Looks good.
Is that possible to see in person?
You can drive right up the driveway. It's on the right-hand side.
Okay, I thought it might be very close. All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
So this is just a reporting status, Maureen.
Correct. This is a required report.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no other questions or comments on item 6, we'll move to item 7, payment of the bills.
There's no bills.
We're open for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Modelis. Is there a second? And
Second.
you all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Have a good evening, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night. Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.
Right.